Hi, I'm Melissa from Melissa's Creations, and today I'm going to show you how to make this treat box. It reminds me of a one of those Capri Sun canisters. You know, you put the little straw in it. I was browsing Pinterest and I stumbled upon Poodle's blog, and I saw that she had adapted one of these from somebody else's website, and she had directions on hers. And so I just wanted to show you guys how to make it. It's super cute, it's super simple and fast, and let's get started. So you're going to start with a piece of cardstock. It can be any size that's at least 8.5 wide. So this is just a standard 8.5 by 11. So you're going to cut that down to 6 inches. So you want it 8.5 by 6 inches. So there's our first cut. There we go. You're also going to want 2 squares for your accent paper here. Those are going to measure 3 3/4 inches. So let's go ahead and cut 2 strips of those at 3 3/4. And I'm using an older paper from Stampin' Up's Designer Series paper collection. This was part of the In Colors for, I believe, 2 years ago. This was one of my favorite In Colors collections from them that they've done recently. So I was sad to see these retire, but the new catalog will be coming out soon. And in that catalog are some pretty exciting things. So I'm really excited to show you guys that. So here are my 2 squares that are 3 3/4. Set those aside. And what we're going to do now is score our cardstock for our box base. So I'm getting my score pal out. And the first score that you want to do is 4 and an 8. So you're going to put the long edge on top, and we're going to do 4 and 8. So there's the 2 there. This is going to be basically our glue tab is what we're going to use to glue the sides together. So now we've got those. We're going to flip it long ways and score it at 1 and at 5. So basically you just have a 1-inch score mark on each side. Okay. Now we're going to score just to the first score line 2 and 6. Those are going to make our flaps for the bottom of our box. Okay, so now we have 2 and 6-inch score line right here and here. So we can set our score pal aside for now. You're going to want to grab a ruler, and we're going to do some diagonal scores. So we're going to score from our 2-inch mark right here where it meets the 1-inch down to this score line down here. So it's going to be just like that, like a diagonal. And you're going to do that on all sections here. So let me show you what that's going to look like. You're scoring from this 2-inch down. So we're making essentially a triangle, but you're just basically connecting the lines. It's like connecting the dots. So you're going to do that to both sides. Score a little triangle. So when you're done, your score lines should look like this. I know it's a little difficult to see. Hopefully the light can catch it. Okay. So now that we have our score lines done, I'm going to take some scissors, and you're going to snip off the little tab on the side, on the bottom, like that, and then the little one on the top. Snip, snip. Okay, and then you're just going to cut up to the 1-inch score line that we did at the 2, the 4, and the 6. Turn it around, and you're going to cut up right on the middle, which would be the 4-inch line. just to the first score line. So you should have some tabs. These are basically going to be the bottom of our box, and then you're just going to cut right in the middle here. Okay, so we're going to get our bone folder out and score those lines. So I'm scoring the part that we're going to put the glue on, and then fold it in half and score. And then you're going to score your bottom flaps. Okay, don't score the top. You want to leave that score line nice and straight. So I'm going to grab some of the Stampin' Up! Tear and Tape Adhesive. I guess this replaced the red sticky strip. I personally loved the sticky strip because it was super sticky, but I'm finding that this isn't too bad of a replacement. It's easy to use. You don't need to mess with scissors. You just tear it off where you want it. So we're going to put some right here on this, right under the score line here on our flap. And it's kind of nice too because I can see where it is. Sometimes with that red one, it was hard to see. Okay, so we have some right here. And we're also going to put some on this flap, the first and the third. Those are going to allow our boxes to stick together. So a little bit there, and a little bit here. Okay, so we have that. So before I take this off and make it sticky, I want to also score my diagonal lines. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So they're not as pronounced as the other lines because you didn't use a score pal or an indentation to score it using a ruler. It's just a light crease, so we really want to make sure we get those score lines nice and folded. So just kind of work those lines best you can. One more. Okay, so now we have all those lines scored. Looking good. Before we glue it together, we want to bring back our squares, and you're going to want to mark, if I can find my pen, what I did with it. Oops, use this. You want to mark right in the middle at 1 7/8. So we'll grab our ruler and just a small mark. We don't want it big, and actually I'm going to mark on the wrong side so that I don't see it when I glue my paper down to my project. So 1 7/8 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right there. And I'm going to do that to both. I just need one mark, and it doesn't even have to be that pronounced, just enough so that you can see it when you put it back into your cutter, because we're going to do some cuts here. 4, 5, 6, and 7, right there. Okay, you're going to grab your cutter again, and you're going to put your mark onto the track, and then you're going to line up the point with the track. So you want your mark and your point lined up on the track, just like this. And then you're going to go ahead and cut it. So let's get that nice and lined up. Alright, so now you have a chunk of a triangle, and you're going to do that to the other side too. So you're going to line this up with your track and line this point up with your track. So in we go, line it up and snip it off. There. So that makes our square. We have 3 triangles now, and my pen did bleed through to the other side a little bit, but that's all right. So do the same thing with your other paper. One thing that you could do that would spruce this up a little bit more is to add some ink with sponges around the edges of these triangles. I think that would kind of make it more, a little more rustic, just give it a little bit more dimension, make it more interesting. For the sake of the video, I'm not going to go ahead and do that though. Alright, So we have our triangle pieces cut out. Now we're going to use our tape runner. You could also use Tombow or glue stick, any adhesive that you like to work with. And we're going to go ahead and stick that down on our project. Try and line it up a little. There we go. And for the sake of the video, I'm going to fast forward through this so you don't have to sit here and watch. Alright, we have our last piece here. We're going to go ahead and get that stuck down to our project, like so. Okay, it's looking good so far. So now we're going to go ahead and take the tape off, the tape runner thingy, whatever you call it. The mabob or doohickey, sticky, non-sticky, waxy part. So, one more. Take it off from here, actually. Okay. So you're going to fold down your little glue tabby part, and then basically you're just going to fold it over. It'll pretty much line itself up. Just guide it a little. Okay. And now you're going to do the bottom. So you're basically going to just kind of pop it open so it forms a natural square. The two tabs that have glue, you're going to fold those in. And then you're going to carefully fold over, trying to keep the shape of the box, the other tabs. And then you can stand it upright, pop it open, and use your bone folder to kind of squish it down. Okay, so there is the base of our box. Another thing that you might want to do is take your corner rounder and round those corners. You could also do this before you glue it together. It may make it a little easier, but I always forget, so that works too. Okay, so now we have our rounded corners, and the last thing to do is just to add a couple of cute accents. So I'm using, I believe this is from the Itty Bitty Punches. It's the little scalloped flower. So I'm just gonna pop 3 of those suckers out real quick like. And then I'm going to use some mini glue dots and a stylus to pick it up. And there's one. Get that in the middle of the flower there and figure out where you want it. I like the idea of it being off center, but I have this little blemish here, so I might put it more in the middle to cover that up. So there's one there. And then I also like the way that it looks when the flowers are kind of, they have some dimension. So I'm just going to kind of squish it to fold it up a little bit, make it look like it pops out. And this would be really cute to actually put some more embellishments on too. Maybe some crystals or pearls or something like that. And the last one here. These are super sticky, so they're pretty perfect for this type of small application here. I got a little bit extra on there, so that's fine. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of rough up the flower edges a little bit, give them some dimension, like I said. And I would probably, if I was using the sponges, I would give it a lot more texture by adding some sponge around the edge there too. So there we go. Simple, cute little box. It could be for a party or a party favor, little children's birthday party, or really anything that you can think of, just any gift in general. Thanks for joining me. I hope you learned something, and leave comments in the section below if you want to see more videos. Thank you.